Välkomna! Denna gången så avslutar vi Kalifornienresan med ett mastodontavsnitt och en lång intervju på 21st Amendment om bland annat Oyster Stouts och lite annat skoj. Berry Public i Pittsburgh eller någonting sånt. The home of the Racer 5. Väldigt kul för att de gör väldigt god öl. Och så har de, precis som Golden Beers, en maltsilo. Sitt bryggeri. Så, och alla i detta området snackar om dem. Så att, de säger att Russian River, Lagunitas och Berry Public är that shit. Så vi kollar in.
When I've seen double, raise my ticket when I speak.
She comes skimming through rays of fire. She can wait in a drop of dew. She don't come and I don't follow. Waits backstage while I sing to you.
Ursäkta mitt något nervösa intro innan utanför Berry Public. Men grejen var den att jag trodde att jag hade glömt allt mitt snus på hotellet. Men så hittade jag en dosa i en jacka. Så nu är allting frid och fröjd igen. Kul med detta stället, som sagt. Nu sitter vi på deras patio. Och det är en brewpub. Och de har inte mer än två maltsilos mitt inne i stan. Det är 6 hattar och 5 möjligheter. Så, nu har vi testat igenom Berry Publics olika öl och deras fantastiska mat också. De bästa garlic friesen i världshistorien. Vi sitter och slappnar av nu med ett gammalt barley wine från 2002. Det här barley winet, Old Scudder, vad ska man säga? Det är liksom godis i ett glas. Bryggdes när bryggmästarens son var det, eller dotter föddes. Så att, vem vet om en flaska lever kvar till den dagen när barnet fyller 21. Men gott är det i alla fall. Och med det sagt så tackar jag för mig.
Without your love, it's a melody played at the Penny Arcade. It's a fun and fairly world, just as corny as it could be. Thank you. But it wouldn't be made with
Bryggeri som brygger både lager och ale. De har för närvarande 10 olika öl på menyn, så att jag tog en sampler. Och överlag så är det rätt schysst öl, inget sådär jätteextra, men kul öl överlag. Det som är kul med det här bryggeriet är att det är certifierat ekologiskt också, så att all öl, antar jag, är ekologisk. Det som höjer detta stället till skyarna är lokalerna, som är ganska schyssta. Och maten. De har grymma såna här små ost och öl pairing plates. De har jättemycket tapas, jättemycket småplock, oliver och tapenad och fritt och sådana här saker. Så att det är verkligen ett perfekt ställe till att gå och testa ett par öl och ta några små rätter liksom, och bara känna av ölen och se vad det är för någonting. Så att, jag vet inte, 3 hattar och 5 tror jag. Så.
Tasty.
Nu står vi utanför 21st Amendment på 563 2nd Street. That's right, Cans. Trevligt ställe och ganska lätt att ta sig hit med 10ans buss från Market. Men det tar en stund, den bussen går inte så jätteofta. Men om man väl är här så behöver man inte ha bråttom härifrån, för det finns mycket god mat och mycket god öl och skittrevligt ställe att hänga på. Är man inte jätteidrottsintresserad så är det kanske ingen större hit att komma hit närmare helgerna liksom, på veckosluten, för då är det game night och fullt med Giants-fans som hänger där och dricker öl och kollar på sport och sånt där. Men de andra dagarna är helt perfekta. Vi går in och kollar läget.
Showing off our lovely and expansive 12-barrel brew house. Very lucky to have a nice compact system because the space is at such a premium in San Francisco. So we've got a 30,000-pound silo of base malt on the roof. Then we've got our mill room coming into our nice big oversized grist case, which allows us to do single milling for really large batches of big beers. Combined mash tun lager tun, 12-barrel kettle, and then we've got 4 12-barrel fermenters and 6 serving tanks as well. So we get a nice compact system here, and we're just trying to crank out as much beer as we possibly can.
How often do you brew?
About 1.5 times a week.
1.5 times, okay.
Twice every other week, basically.
How many styles do you make here in the brew pub?
Well, one of the great things that Sean and Nico, the owners, kind of set out at the beginning of this company was that we're going to have a lot of variety. So we've got 6 serving tanks. We try and keep on a full range of beers at any given time. So this is the 21st Amendment. We like our big hoppy beers, so we try and have an IPA on at all times. Maybe 2 or 3 IPAs if we're feeling particularly saucy. And then something darker, something lighter, and try and just kind of keep our bases kind of covered. One of the great things is recently we've been having to have our house beers on all the time and kind of keep those consistent, and then have things like our reds and ambers kind of rotating in through 3 or 4 different recipes, and then for example our blondes, we have a couple of those that we rotate through, and so we, instead of having the same 6 beers all the time, we really get to have the ones that need to be consistent, and the ones that can kind of rotate and play with, we rotate and play with.
What do you think the customers or the guests responds to, rotating and having a lot of different beers? I mean,
I think they love it. I think we're really lucky to have such a loyal customer base. It's been great. Sean and Nico just built up a great reputation in the city for being inventive and consistent and always putting out interesting beers. So I think the customers come here because they know that they're going to like the beer. They know that there's going to be something new and interesting for them to try, and they're going to be the beers that they always want to drink. So I think people really kind of get the best of both worlds in that way here.
Yeah, that's cool. What kind of you don't bottle or keg anything from this brewery to other accounts?
No, this is just the brew pub account. Our production facility does all of our canning, and that's been one of the big pushes of the past couple of years is promoting cans, and it's really going to be the big development as far as manufacturing goes in American craft beer.
Yeah, what's the response on cans? Have craft beer drinkers taken the cans to their hearts, or is it still, you know, like screw corks on wine bottles? Or
I think that the response is pretty uniform, where people will, the first time they see craft beer in a can, will be it's like, this is stupid, this is going to taste bad. And then they have one, and they realize it doesn't taste bad. And then suddenly they realize they can take it to concerts, to the beach, to parks, and there's just so much more mobility involved. And then they realize that it is better for recycling, so it's better for the planet and better for, you know, all sorts of environmental factors. And if they're real nerds, they realize it's lighter, and so it's easier to ship. So I think what happens is people are all kind of reluctant at the beginning, and then they're just overwhelmed by the benefits of canning, and it's pretty easy to convert people.
Yeah, I actually think so too. And I mean, so far all the beer that I've had from cans, at least craft beer, has been excellent. I mean, everything from 21st Amendment. I know Anderson Valley is doing some cans. Oscar Blues, other more.
The more and more companies across the country are canning because everybody's just realizing the benefits of it are so immense. And I think, you know, as is a testament to the quality of the American craft brewing movement, is that people really put the work in to make sure that cans would taste as good as bottles do, and they do. So we didn't really have that lag phase where, you know, oh, these cans aren't that good, but they're getting better. I think it just went straight to people made sure that it was quality beer going in and quality beer coming out of the can, and get a great product out of it.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, very much rock and roll.
What's your background and, I mean, brewing-wise?
My background is actually communications consulting. Really did not like working in an office, so now I work in a brewery. Zambo, our head brewer here, is kind enough to give me my first brewing job, so this is the start for me.
Ah, cool.
I'm very proud of our facility and really happy to work for such a great company. You know, a lot of people get their start at the macro level and get excellent experience. May not like their company quite as much as I like 21A. So.
And nice to work in, I mean, such a hands-on breweries. Would be kind of boring starting off at like Anheuser-Busch, you know, staring at the conveyor belt for 8 hours a day.
I'm pushing this around. That is the number one thing I like about this facility and the size of this facility is that we're making beer with literally our hands. We have everything from just your standard mashing in, boiling, whirlpooling, running off, cleaning, all that stuff's, you know, just me and Zambo working our asses off. And then, you know, a lot of the other weirder, crazier stuff, like we just made an oyster stout, which we've got on tap right now, which is delicious, and you should have some.
I definitely should have some, with the oyster shells and everything.
Yeah, so we put, I'm trying to remember how many, I think it was 14 dozen oyster shells in the boil in a giant hop sack, and then had to pull them out of the boil right before knockout by hand. And they apparently somehow picked up weight in the boil, and it turned out to be quite the arduous task. But it's the kind of, you know, fun, exciting kind of thing that only happens in a brewery that's small enough that you can actually get your hands involved. You know? So.
What would you say the oysters add to the beer?
Oh, they add a great just touch of salinity, particularly in the aroma for me, and it's a light, drinkable stout. I think that the oyster stout is a style that's very underappreciated. And people come to it really quickly. You know? It's like oysters and oyster stout. It goes together so perfectly that if you have oysters on the menu, and people see an oyster stout, they're gonna drink it. And everybody likes it. We've been selling it much faster than stouts generally go for us. So
cool.
I'm excited about it.
Like, have you made any bacon beer? Because I'm really, you know, onto doing a bacon beer.
Yeah, I haven't.
Or have you tried? I haven't even tried a bacon beer.
I've had the bacon beer from Uncommon Brewers down in Santa Cruz, but I haven't played with it myself. I don't know. I can't speak for the brewery at home. Maybe they've done something before I was here, but haven't played with it myself that much. It seems difficult.
Yeah, but I mean, bacon and beer should be good.
That's a combo made in heaven right there. So it's hard to argue if you can nail it.
Were you a homebrewer before you?
That was how the communication consulting thing ended. I was homebrewing a lot. I quit that job, didn't have a job, so I homebrewed a whole lot and realized that I should probably be doing this professionally. It's a little bit of an expensive hobby if you have to pay for yourself without a job.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Thank you for your time, and thank you for the wise words.
Sugar magnolia, blossoms blooming, heads all empty and I don't care. So my baby down by
Okej, My, hur är den här watermelon wheat nu egentligen?
Den är allra enklast om man gör så här.
She's got everything delightful. She's got everything I need. Takes the wheel when I'm seeing double.
Är det igång?
Ja.
Yes. Som sagt, alla flaskorna didn't make the merge. Dumpa 2 flaskor. Och en av dem en Saison med Brettanomyces från The Brewery. Saison Delent kanske den heter. Hoppas att den har klarat taxifärden och sånt där. Ska vi se. Jag kan ju inte bara slänga iväg den utan att testa den. Jag måste ju liksom smaka den. Se om det är så bra som att säga. Det luktar fantastiskt gott. Ja, here we go. Verkligen en full kameraman smaka lite också. Vad tycker du? Den har den här peppriga smaken och sen så den här Brettanomyces grejen liksom som backar upp av den här lilla peppriga fenoliska nästan. Den andra ölen som fick stryka på foten var faktiskt en av de mest spännande och intressanta ölen. En från Marine Brewing Company med blåbär som var överraskande bra. Men jag får väl göra en egen.
Ja.
Inspirerad av den här blåbärsölen. Ja. Ses vi i Toronto nästa gång.